You're listening to Our Space with Matt Batiste.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Our Space with Matt Batiste podcast. Thank you so much for listening each and every single week. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button or that follow button, please do. It goes a long way in helping the show. And now if you were a scene kid in the 2000s, if you were on MySpace, if you were going to Warped Tour, if you had full-on raccoon tails in your hair, big hair, vibrant clothes, you definitely know today's guest. And I am so happy to have her on. We're joined by Melissa Marie of Millionaires. How's it going? Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Hi, thanks for having me. I checked out your podcast. It's so cute. I was like, okay, yeah. When you asked me, I was like, I'm totally down.
The second we started following each other, I was like, ooh, this is my opportunity. I need to get her on the show because it's just such a throwback to those great days of going home and trying to code your MySpace page and pick a song for it. And there you were right on MySpace, Millionaires.
Oh God. Yeah. The good old days. Right. The reason I like when you followed him and everything, I was like, I know I've seen his stuff. People share like the TikToks. I'm horrible at TikTok, by the way. I know I'll get some pointers from you after this situation, but like when I was looking at your stuff, I was like, this is the kind of stuff I should probably do. You know what I mean? To like pretend like I know how to TikTok or whatever. So technically I was going to maybe steal some of your ideas.
Steal my ideas, take them, make them your own. Absolutely.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, I wish you didn't live so far so we could have done, we could do one together or something.
Well, hopefully when we were young, rolls around, we can meet up in Vegas and do a collab video. That would be so much fun.
You tell me what we should do. You're the mastermind,
So
I'll bring the alcohol, but you can,
You bring the alcohol, I'll bring the camera.
We'll meet in the middle and then
we'll find some fun nostalgia content to shoot. Well, with talking about TikTok and MySpace, you were almost like one of the first influencers really back within the MySpace era as an artist and, blowing up on MySpace. How do you feel about, I guess, TikTok musicians almost doing what you were doing, but in a different way and a different platform?
I think I can never talk shit about anyone, doing what feels right for them. Cause TikTok, I like TikTok, of course I watch them and all that stuff. I don't know. I just for some reason, don't age me, you know what I mean? But just I don't know, I'm just not, back in the day, it's I guess my mom would never understood what I was doing on MySpace type thing. You know what I mean? I'm not even a mom. And just but the HTML and all that kind of fun stuff and all that stuff, the bulletins and I don't know. But yeah, but it is weird that people are social media, that word. And I said this on I always say, but it's it's crazy to be I was social media before there was social media, the term. And so it is kind of cool to be I'm a real OG. Okay. So yeah, no one can fault me.
No, you absolutely are a real OG. Back when MySpace was around, before Facebook really came out, we didn't call it social media. We just called it MySpace.
When did that term even come out? That's one thing we should try to Google or TikTok or whatever.
It must have come out around the time of Facebook because.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, because we went from MySpace to Facebook, and I remember when everyone switched to Facebook, I was like, there's no way this catches on. This is not better than MySpace. There's no music on here.
Right. I felt the same way. We actually even myself, because I have my personal, your Melissa Marie Green, the family account one. And then, what's so weird is I was one of the first people verified on Facebook because they wanted us to move to.
They wanted to steal the MySpace people and bring you on.
That were verified on the MySpace. And then you got in the Twitter thing too. They all were trying to get us onto different platforms. And so it is kind of weird because I'm still verified on all, Millionaires was verified as well and everything. But my personal Facebook is verified. This is since day one. It's so weird to me. Yeah, personal one, my family one. Obviously, and there's just super weird. I don't know. Don't take it away from me or anything. They are fake. Because also, too, I think that catfish thing kind of started because that's what we had to deal with the most on MySpace or myself, all the people had the catfish accounts or whatever.
That was way larger on MySpace than I think a lot of people even realized.
Yeah, it was kind of scary. People would come to the shows, especially, and be hey, I brought you this. You said you wanted this. What the hell? who? Like, it's like, I was really nice. I was like, thanks. It's like, I didn't never talk to those people, you know what I mean? Or didn't know who they were, like in a nice way. I was like, it's very sweet of you, but.
It was so easy back then. Actually, my cousin was, we all got into internet relationships back then, and probably talked to some people that we shouldn't be talking to. But I remember, my cousin was in like a MySpace relationship, and she was like, "Hey, I'm going to meet this guy. We've been talking for a few months. Like, can you come with me just to make sure that everything's okay?" And so we showed up, and
that's good that you went with her, though.
yeah, so the guy ended up like ghosting her, I guess. And then, she like called him out, like, "Why didn't you show up?" And he's like, "Oh, I was there, but like I couldn't get through the crowd to say hi to you." Like, and he pointed out like what we looked like. So this person saw what we looked like in person, like 14-year-old kids. And then we find out like a month later, after that happened, we still never met this person, that it was a catfish, because the real person messaged her and she saw him, and he went on webcam and was like, "You weren't talking to me, like you were talking to someone else." And then the guy she was actually talking to, who knows what type of creep he was, like deleted all the profiles and disappeared. And we're like the catfishing was insane on MySpace.
Yeah, because like, but also too, that's like wasting the people's time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just like, well, at least she was fine. You know what I mean? You can, God knows, because even on like the TV shows, like you always see like they figure it out or whatever. But I wonder if like there's ever such like a situation that someone meets with them, they're like really bad or like sketch. You know what I mean? Like really like dangerous people. You know what I mean?
Well, especially like the early days of the internet, when like we legit just didn't know. We talked to everybody. Like it was just, now there's a little bit more awareness. There's a little bit more. There's laws and regulations now going into things that we just like didn't know. Like it was just the wild, wild west back then. So being on MySpace really was the wild, wild west. And it's kind of like, we look back at it and just kind of think, oh, like, yeah, it was just a time. And we don't realize, because we look at everything in the past with like rose tinted glasses, right? But we don't realize like,
because you're young too, and I will say you trust. And I remember when like my mom first got like the computer, like, because I love like the AIM, with Sidekick and all that kind of stuff too. But I remember like when we first got like the internet kind of thing, like the AOL kind of stuff with the "you've got mail" BS,
you're logging out. "Mom, get off the phone. I need to fix my MySpace."
Don't age me. But they had like the chat rooms, and I remember going into one immediately, like the ASL. I was like, what the hell? It's like, I felt uncomfortable. Yeah, I was young though, I will say, but I was like, I don't know, but it's scary though.
I was like 13, and like my age was different every time I answered ASL with strangers, like 21, 16, 18. I was like making things up at that point.
You have to though. Like I did too, you know what I mean? And it's just like, yeah, I don't know. I remember that Chris Hansen thing. They would always, remember Chris Hansen?
I love that show.
I wish they would. That's one of those shows that I wish they would like reboot or whatever. You know what I mean? Like bring back or whatever. Because that one, I used to like. I don't know. I love that one because it was so sketchy but real. It's like,
and it was also kind of one of like the first memes. Like we were also consuming and creating memes before the word meme was even a thing. Like
like that kind of stuff too. People would, all those things are all so nuts.
I want to ask you, where did the bow come from? What's the story behind the bow?
Okay, it's perfect question to ask for this little podcast too. You know what I mean? Because, well, obviously I was a little MySpace scene queen. Okay. You know what I mean? Before that was even, actually we did call ourselves that. There's like all the certain girls and the scene kings, and we were called scene royalty. This is, Southern California. We had scene royalty down there. And so it was like, everyone kind of, not like date or whatever, but it's like, you'd all get together, all like, at the mall or whatever. It's like all looking the same way. I should have put my things down today. God damn. But anyway, I promise they're still there. I have them I'm going to make sure that I do it for when we were young. But, long story short, like the more into the scene you got, the bigger my hair got, bigger and bigger. And then it looks stupid to put like, I remember I was at this like Party City or something with my sister one time. And like, we were just there for just basic stuff. And then there were these little like cowboy hats. Okay. And like, they're like just party things for, I don't know, for God knows what. And I was like, how the hell would I put this on my hair? And it looks so stupid. You know what I mean? The little thing on the big hair. And I was like, that's when it triggered me. I was like, I need something big for my hair. And so it matched, you know what I mean? Like that whole look. Cause also too, like when, on Warped Tour and everything, I didn't wear the bows too much. I had the little side ones or whatever. but it was just too hard to like keep your hair up in the sweat, like when it's just dirty and sweaty, and like, when can you shower and all that stuff. And I was like, and I didn't want to put my hair up because I wasn't seen. It had to be down. And so I was like, it's like a perfect, like kind of like a cover up thing. It's like, okay, I can get away with it. And then it just stuck.
It's great because it's like it's perfect branding, but at the same time, you made something branding and it's practical.
Yeah, and it's like every girl like wears bows. You know what I mean? Like when the baby pops out of the womb, they put a little bow on it. But and also too, I was like, I couldn't find a bow big enough. That's why I started making the bows, because I was like, I can change the color even if I just had one black one. I remember I had one black one for the longest time, and it was just beaten the fuck up. You know what I mean? Just because like just the only one that I tried to figure it out, and like like almost like, I don't know, like an invention kind of thing of how to get it like to not go anywhere and everything. So I don't know. I guess I was an inventor along the way. Thank you, MySpace.
Yeah, you were like the OG influencer, MySpace artist, entrepreneur, like all of it.
Thank you, Matt. You don't have to see that.
Warped Tour, MySpace, they're on the come up. I'm kind of curious, like, what made you want to jump into GarageBand, start experimenting and creating music? Like, what was the reason behind it?
It was only like just like, so I was a math major, so I was going to college. I had just graduated. Well, I was seeing, to my school and whatever. And then, there's kind of two reasons. Okay. So I'll give you the real gossip here. Obviously it's like, the first time I ever drank kind of thing, you're with your friends, and then like, I was with my sister too. And like, so you're just like having fun or whatever. And we had, my sister and I shared the desktop or whatever. And then the GarageBand, well, we're just going through the computer kind of thing. And obviously we're just like drunk, like just, we had no microphone, like how even you, I still don't have one. Okay.
You don't need one.
It's just not my thing. But I just remember like, we were just like I just it was me and my sister, we were just kind of fucking around with it. And then, I brought my best friend at the time in and everything. But the real reason when like, I was my high school boyfriend, who shall not be named. But anyways, he was in a band. And so like, that's how actually I got into the whole, not MySpace kind of emo, because I was already like that, but the emo stuff, you know what I mean? Like the bands and like, everyone that's gonna be on When We Were Young this year kind of thing. That's my,
yeah, that's what you grew up listening to as well.
I was like, yeah. And I was like, because he would always want to go and see the bands. He was a drummer. And so I was like, oh, so cool and everything. But long story short though, I remember when, because my MySpace, so like my personal MySpace was so big, like I was Melissa Millionaire. I wasn't Melissa Marie. I was Melissa Millionaire. And so my thing was like crazy. And then it got deleted multiple times, but no matter what, it's still, people would find me and bring it back. And then when we did the first song, we put it on, like, I was like, you know what, we should upload it, we figured it out because, just whatever, because that MySpace music thing, because I was pissed at the ex-boyfriend for breaking up with me.
So Millionaire started because of revenge from an ex-boyfriend.
Part of it. It was just to have fun, you know what I mean? And I was like, and we might as well just try it. Like, what's the worst that's going to happen? You know what I mean? Because the scene music, like, I will shout out to Medic Droid, but like, like that First Shirt Maybe, that's what we used to listen to when we were like trying to, underage drink or whatever, kind of thing, like, oh my God, that's so cool. But, he's a good friend of mine, you know what I mean? But yeah, I was like, you know what? Like, if like that age group can do it, and it takes just like, we can just upload it from that GarageBand, I was like, let's just try it. And I was like, well, let's just use Millionaires, because I was Melissa Millionaire. And then just like that, and that's how that began.
It's just the MySpace name, going about it. And just, the worst thing that can happen is no one hears it.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. And then all of a sudden we got so much hate. Okay. You know what I mean? Just like people were just like, talking shit or whatever. That's why we came out with the song Talk Shit and everything. Just like,
was that like almost immediately after uploading?
It was, so our first song was I Like Money. And so like, I Like Money goes up. And then but that's right. It was the perfect timing, because that's when people can like, remember you can add a song to like your profile. You didn't have that option prior.
Yeah.
And then that's when that's how it kind of spiraled, I think. Spiraled upward, but
Because people started adding your songs to their profiles.
yeah. And then so it was like free publicity kind of thing. You don't have to pay for ads or kind of thing, it was already there. And like every time people go on their friend's profile, their scene kids do or whatever, the scene. But yeah, that was the beginning. And I never thought, I will say, that was this year is 17 years. So like, okay.
It's crazy.
So and I was like 16, 17 when it started. So it's half of my life. You would, okay, like, being just like trying to have my first Smirnoff Ice, like singing at the, like, you never thought that would, I'm not like one of those people that like that. I knew I should have been a musician my whole entire life. You know what I mean? Like playing the guitar like 24/7. Never the case. Obviously it's like now it's like, okay, yeah, like, all my hard work after 17 goddamn years, maybe give me a little bit of credit here. Where's my little MySpace reward or something? But
I mean, you absolutely know what you're doing. You didn't need to be that, kid with the guitar in order to make music. You found a way to be something that people either loved or hated. And I feel like that's what most musicians are. Right? Like people, I've had this conversation on the podcast. I've had it with other people. If you're a successful musician, you're always going to have people that love you and you're always going to have people that hate you. You can't get away from that. If everybody loves you, then you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're not winning unless people like have an opinion, or like not an opinion, but like if you don't have the hate, then you're not doing something right. You're exactly correct because you want people to like your name in their mouth, and then it's just like okay, well, you're still talking about me.
Yeah. If everyone loves you, chances are your only fans are your mom.
Yeah, true. Like it's like there was this one actually a meme that I saw, and it's like I don't know how to explain it. It's like someone's like playing guitar on the thing, and it's like that everyone's happy, and it's like and it says like the mom, the brother. That's like you have to like attend the show or whatever to support them or whatever.
What would you feel like the biggest challenge was like growing up in the era that we grew up in?
I don't know. It was kind of different for me because like a lot of my friends, I will say like are you talking about like the MySpace era or like the music?
Mm-hmm. Just like the era in general. I
think how about this? It's kind of a random part, not really random, but as a girl, we weren't taken this seriously. Like not like how about this? Maybe I wouldn't have signed anyone in a general sense type thing, even if I was offered, but we just seemed to never like, get those offers and like other people, well, male dominated for sure.
It was especially very male dominated back then.
Just as many scene girls or like emo girls as well. Like every emo guy has an emo girlfriend. Every scene guy has a scene girlfriend. And it's like, there's just as many people, but we just weren't offered that. So I think that's what made me even more like continue on, It's like, look, it's 17 years later and look at who's fucking performing at when we were young. You know what I mean? Yeah, but it's like, but you see that though? Like, it's just like that perseverance, but I can see how that could have defeated a lot of people. Like, there could have been, actually, there's so many bands that I've toured with too, like just like, even that opened for me or like, like I opened up for, and like, I know they felt defeated, boys and girls, you know what I mean? Or like, whatever the case may be, like, it's kind of, I think that was that whole thing, also too, I don't, sometimes promoters didn't want, like just before everything that was more accepted now too, like the whole LGBTQ community, that was a hard one too. And I know there's multiple artists that I like, excellent, you know what I mean? Like actually pretty much had excellent, like even musical backgrounds, and they weren't even looked at because it was just like taboo or whatever. It's like, that's sick and sad too. You know what I mean? And then it makes you more emo. It's like, okay, well, what's going on here?
It's crazy. Like people don't realize, I think, when we look back at the way things were back then to now, like how quickly things progressed within such a short amount of time. Like 15 years ago wasn't that long ago, but like it was a completely different era. And there was a lot more, I mean, there's still a lot more work to do today, but the misogyny and the homophobia back in the mid to late 2000s was rampant. It
was really sad. And I feel like that's why too, like a lot of like my friends too, like I remember my just like a not like a boyfriend, but like just like a friend of mine that was a guy. He couldn't like he now is he's trans and everything, really close friend of mine, and it was so sad that back in the day, like he still had to, he was seen, okay, because everyone accepted him and everyone knew, obviously, you know what I mean, just know what's going on here. But it was so sad that he couldn't just like dress how he wanted to then, you know. And I'm glad that everyone can or attempt, to some whatever. Some people still are just dicks, but but now, so it is. I mean, how was it? That was the bad thing about maybe that era, but also too, I think that the emo and scene thing sparked that you can come out a little bit more, or like be yourself. It's not about even like coming out to be whatever, but like just like be yourself. Even if I wanted to dress as a boy and I'm still straight, like that doesn't matter. Just do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Every day that we take a step forward, I think is definitely a good day, which is really good. And I think we definitely are moving in the right direction. It's just crazy looking back, thinking like it feels like it was yesterday for us because, we're still in it and
it
love
has to
it.
Be, right? Because we're not that old, right?
Exactly. Like I'm still 21. I don't know about you. I think we're both still 21. Like I think Warped Tour 09 was what, like last year, or was it the year before? I can't remember.
Last year. I was just last year. Okay. Yeah.
Like when we were young. What's this when we were young stuff?
Yeah.
We're still young.
They were fools. Okay.
Well, you're also kind of going through a whole new life with your music and rebranding right now. Let's talk about that. What made you say, you know what, I want to do this again. I want to do it differently. I want to rebrand. I want to do it all. Like, what made you want to go through that?
I think it was more like when we lost, or like Millionaires lost like the first show, like only like that was like 15 years ago, you know what I mean? And then my sister hasn't been in it for like almost a decade. And so it's only just me still kind of continuing on. Like I've done the Emo Nite, shout out to Emo Nite, love you guys. But but that once that kind of started to resurge and everything, I never stopped Millionaires though. I never did. I did, I tried to do everything. And then I was like, like one of those just kind of like, I want to do, I want to try this new, also too, because the times were changing, you know what I mean? I was like, maybe I can try to like, kind of resurge it in a better way and just like, growing up and knowing more instead of being, an underage drunk teenager. Touring, you know what I mean? But it was just like, might as well not take advantage of the scene or like the phases coming back because it never ended. But, I was like, might as well like try it. And a couple of my friends, it's like a festival had reached out to me and I was like, they just thought it was going to be just me. And I was like, this is the one time I think, cause it's like the big stage. I was like, I want like 2 friends with me, or like just like 2 girls with me, like kind of get the girl power aspect too. And also my whole like crew was almost all women too. I mean, obviously, I have like, the heavy lifters, but yeah, it was like, when we did this last year too, and I did that and we did it together, and I was like, I think this is gonna work type thing. And so now we're a year later, I had previously recorded a song. It's called Make a Milli, just for fun with one of the guys from my best friend from Broken Side. He made the beat, and so it was just fun when I made the song. And then I was like, you know what, let's just put this into play. And so we did the music video. So yeah, Make a Milli came to fruition.
And that was released relatively recently. Do you have any more songs that are in the bank waiting to be released?
Yeah, there are. I think I'm not like I'm trying to hold off on it, but I know the When We Were Young is coming up. And for that one, they chose like the EP that we're going to perform. So it's like, I don't know if I want to like put up too much music beforehand, but I might have it ready like right after or something, just to kind of,
I feel like a lot of bands have done that. They wait for When We Were Young. All the attention is on When We Were Young and all the bands and performers throughout it. And then they release it when all the attention is there. It's a great strategy. So definitely, yeah. So I guess we're getting a new EP.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It'll be coming, not like tomorrow by any means, but yeah, definitely in the works. Okay. Because you said, I've never been to When We Were Young, but how was your experience though? You said you did go.
I went last year and it was honestly like, it felt like it was a once in a lifetime opportunity. And I really need to go again this year, make sure that it's not a once in a lifetime.
I'm going to be there. It has to be 2 times in a lifetime.
Exactly. So it really was. It was one of the greatest experiences ever. Like the second you land in Vegas and you see all of the other emo people walking down the street, you're like, I've been to Vegas before, and there weren't that many emo people here, and I feel like I'm at home.
Yeah, it's like when they do like the theme day at like Disneyland. I don't know if like they do like the certain theme days, and it's like if you don't know what's going on, you're like, but everyone's dressed like because like the real fanatics or whatever. So yeah, I have to work on my outfit though. Maybe I told you the bangs. I'm growing out the bangs.
Yeah, when we were young, really is. It's like the thing is I think as a fan going there, you do need to make your sacrifices, which sucks in terms of like what bands you do and don't want to see, because there's going to be conflicts and you're going to be like, ooh, like I want to see that band, but they're playing at the same time as that band. Who do I want to see more? And then there's like points in the day where you're also kind of like, okay, we've been out in the sun baking for like 6 to 8 hours. Maybe it's time we like sit in the shade and get some water and some chicken nuggies and eat something. And we'll like, miss a half an hour of whatever band we want to see and then go and run around again. So like it is a long day, but it is so worth it. And you just keep going through your first, your second, your third, your fourth, your fifth wind, and you get through the day. It's such an experience. It feels like a little bit more of like a more organized Warped Tour and almost like on a bigger scale, because it's not like a traveling tour and you're seeing like all of your favorite bands.
Yeah, just the two. Mm-hmm. What was I don't mean to be the interviewer, but what was your favorite band that you saw last year, and which one are you sad that you missed?
Okay, favorite band.
I don't mean to put you on the.
So I saw Blink on both nights because we got there a little bit late on the Saturday, and like Blink is like, they're Blink. You can't go wrong with Blink.
Yeah, well,
And sad that I missed.
You're like, oh darn it, you had to like see some. Don't say who you went to see instead, but.
I'm like trying to think, who did I miss that I really was upset? It was probably I caught like a little bit of Movement Set. I caught like half of it, and I was upset that I didn't catch the whole thing.
But see like a bit though.
I got to see like a couple of the songs that I really wanted to see, because obviously they played them towards the end. But I was just, I need to stop and get something to drink over here. It's really long day.
It's like on the dehydration.
It wasn't even a conflict thing. It was we need to take a break. I'm going to collapse.
Either way, if you topple over.
Well, you're playing when we were young, so you're most likely going to have like the backstage access and hopefully, the better access to hopefully like an AC trailer or something.
Don't give it to us or whatever.
I did want to actually ask you a little bit about when we were young too, and you briefly mentioned that they picked the album. So they picked the album. You didn't get any say in that, because I was curious on whether or not most of the artists got a choice.
So they originally, I had reached out to them right after this last one went down, and then I was just like, oh hey, like I'd love to see like who to get in contact to get on this whatever next year's or whatever, because it's last year, but and then they're like oh like. They already had it all booked, and they said, and I was like, oh, okay, no worries. I was like, and they said, maybe we'll get you on for the 2025 or whatever, I was like, okay, that's fine. I was like, as long as I'm in the, whatever, like
you just want to be in the conversation.
Yeah, I'm in the bingo wheel there, and then, so they announced the lineup, and then, I don't know what happened, but then they reached out to me like right after the announcement, and they're like, hey, you want to do the 2024? I was like, yeah. I just reached out to you about it, but yeah, sure. I was like, well, I was just excited, and I was like, yeah, of course. And then they're like, okay. And they put our CD on the flyer, or the cash only CD on the flyer. And I was like, okay, I was like, I guess we're doing this one, girls.
You didn't get a choice. Like, they just like told you by announcing it without even.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I was like, I guess, the whole point is that it's the oldest one, and it is the one when we're young, which makes.
Yeah, they're definitely going for the nostalgia factor. And
I understood that. Yeah, I feel like maybe they knew that was the one. Like Make a Millie wasn't out yet, or anything. Like there was no like newer stuff anyway to be like. But I thought I was like, okay, I guess the girls have to learn all those songs to make sure. Yeah, like.
Yeah, because you've got new girls in the Millionaires now, and so they're gonna have to learn all of the old songs.
Yeah, they've been practicing. They're amazing.
Do you have a whole choreography ready? Or are you working on a choreography for it?
So on Warped Tour, though, we did have choreography because I know we were going to be exhausted. I know we are going to be underage drinking. I know we're going to, you know what I mean? Just in the pit of hell in the sun and everything because it's outdoor, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But for this one though, yes, we will be having some cute little stuff. Nothing too crazy, you know, because also too, you know, it's I don't know. I want more. I'm trying to figure out the outfits, you know, which way I want to go because I feel like I want to do Seenie Weenie.
Yeah, I think you should go full scene.
Yeah, I think
100%.
Yeah,
it keeps with the theme of the whole festival, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like what I used to wear when I was seen, but I don't want to be in like the tight black jeans. I don't know, it's too hot. I don't know. You know, you're saying.
Well, that's another thing too. It's a really hot day, so like definitely prepare for that.
Maybe put us in skirts or something. You know what I mean? But still like it's just the prints and everything. I don't know. I want it to be.
Well, if you ever have any questions about when we were young as well, and like from my experiences last year, you can text me and I'll answer you. But I'm telling you right off the bat, it is a hot day. I actually don't know how I survived. I didn't wear sunscreen and I didn't get burned, which I was really surprised by.
That's good. What time did you get there? Actually,
We got there around 11 or noon, and we were there right until midnight. Like the thing went from like noon to midnight, so basically. Yeah.
Meredith's one of the well, she's now in Millionaires, yeah. But her husband is in Fall Out Boy, and so it's like, oh my god, it's gonna be a long day because obviously we have to stay and watch it. You know what I mean? I was like, oh god, it's like I gotta bring a wheelchair and just wheel me up. Yeah.
You'll be backstage with an energy drink watching Fall Out Boy. It'll be fine.
Oh, yeah, no. I know their set's gonna just be like.
And Fall Out Boy's the only artist that aren't playing an album.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're they get to choose their songs. See,
they're probably going to be. It's Fall Out Boy, right? Like they just get that honor.
They're the headliners. You know?
Them and My Chemical Romance. Although My Chem will be playing the Black Parade, and there's like always that big debate over the Black Parade or Three Cheers. Are you more of a Black Parade or a Three Cheers girl?
You can't pick. You can't ask me that question. That's one of the, you can ask me another question, but I can't.
I'm 100% a Three Cheers guy. I think Three Cheers will
have gotten into the Black Parade if I didn't have the Three Cheers. You know what I mean? Type thing. I mean, I would have, but just whatever comes first, kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. Which, but also Black Parade.
Well, yeah, of course, Black Parade. When I do the emo nights or like the little night, I always have to toss in My Chemical Romance song, and normally though too the song is. Well, I go through one from each. I switch it out though. One from Three Cheers and then one from Black Parade. So.
And are you DJing at the Emo Nights? Like you're picking all the songs and mixing it all?
Yeah, we don't really mix. You know what I mean? It just kind of but yes, I choose my little playlist. I always have like a couple not scene songs, but kind of more boppy kind of thing. And then then I get to the harder stuff. You got to play like the Pierce the Veil, kind of,
Yeah.
And also the stuff that I grew up with too. And then I always end with like a really random song. Sometimes a slower one, like the Hey There Delilah, depending on the crowd. You got to judge the crowd. Or I'll end it with like Party in the USA.
Yeah. What a great way to end Emo Night with Party in the USA.
It throws people off, you know what I mean? It can go like, Hey There Delilah, and everyone's like, oh, and then all of a sudden it's like the dun, that music comes and everyone's like.
But also it's a bop. It's like,
It is, yeah, it's like, but that's like me, you know what I mean? Just like it's like the reason they have me there, it's like not because I'm like a hardcore metal band.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll play Slipknot and people's like, oh my god, I played Slipknot at one emo night, and these people started like moshing and everything, and I was like, okay, it's in Corpus Christi, and all of a sudden this huge fight breaks out, and the cops came, they were bleeding everywhere, and my boyfriend Kalen jumped in and was trying to whatever the hell was going on, just try to help the security, because it was an emo night. It's also
yeah, who's throwing fists at Emo Night?
I don't know, but I guess they were just fucked up, you know what I mean? But yeah, the cops came in and my boyfriend was wearing this white tank top and it was covered in blood. I was like, what happened? He's like, I'm fine. You know what I mean?
Don't worry, it's the other guys.
I know. That sobered me up real quick. I was like, this is towards the end of the night. I was like, I just wanted to relax. Yeah.
What I guess random Seton song do you like to throw in there at Emo Night to kind of throw off the crowd or keep them on their toes?
I don't know. I will say I will toss in. Um, I feel like when I'm gonna be the one like on the emo night, I think they're kind of expecting some songs. What's one that would throw people off? My normal go-tos is like, well, Paramore, but people love Paramore.
Yeah.
That's kind of like that. But I'm
That's an
trying to think,
emo
like the
night
songs like,
staple.
yeah, that's an emo night one. But I guess the first sure, or a Broken Side song, Medic Joy Broken Side.
Yeah.
We just did a show recently too. It was crazy because it was actually like the scene. Maybe Hollywood Undead. I know they're like, but like just that's what I listened to. Remember when the MySpace CD came out?
Yeah.
Hollywood Undead, like the first song. I haven't done a Jeffree Star one because I don't know if I don't even, yeah. But
Yeah, I don't know if that would go over well.
yeah, I don't know. But I mean, but it's like when you grow up, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But like, yeah, all of those like scene songs, I also love, hearing songs that I think some people have forgotten about some of those, right? Like the Hollywood Undead or the Broken Sides, like we all grew up listening to them, and there are a bunch of people that forgot about them, and then till you play a song and they're like, oh my God, like you unlocked a memory.
Yeah. Especially if you have like a drink in you and then it just kind of triggers you, it's like oh my God. Yeah. It just like all like starts flooding back. Like Owl City, the Fireflies is kind of a cute one.
Yeah.
Obviously 303. I know they're like they do the emo nights and everything and that kind of stuff. But that's what I grew up listening to though too. I was just like on tour when I was on tour, even like I remember when that CD came out and I was like, oh, that's so cool. And then they got on the radio. I was like, God damn it.
It's like the 303, yeah, I like went nuts when they were playing Warped Tour. I loved that album when it came out. Like that was like, you got to listen to this. You got to listen to this. You got to listen to this.
Not like cute and like that. It was just so cute the way it was done, and and they had their little slow songs too, so it was still kind of I don't know.
Yeah, they were great. That was like, I think the prime like scene era. It was, Millionaires, 303, like that whole era there. It was just, and that's why I think, and I'm curious how you feel about the term elder emo, because I've always just basically said I like the term elder emo, even though it kind of sounds cringy. There's something about the elder in there that sounds cringy, but also I feel like when you say elder emo, you're describing a person and not a genre of music. So it's like I would say that like you or I would be elder emos because we were a part of that generation. But that doesn't mean that it's just emo music. It doesn't need to be the real emo music.
It technically is the scene, that whole generation.
Exactly.
Scene,
we just called it the scene back then.
Yeah. It was just called the scene. It's like, cause like, like my cute little, seeing mini boyfriends, they listened to the hardcore stuff that they were seeing. Like that's all they listened to. They weren't listening to like, maybe Millionaires or whatever. They'd have to, cause they're dating me, but that whole aspect, poor things. But I don't mind that term at all. You know what I mean? But I feel like that is like the best way to say it's like OG, like we were there when we lived through that, like a veteran, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like we lived it. And no one can take that from us too, because we actually got to see all those bands in the prime too, type thing that, when it was able to be, now it is like, it's look, they had to do a whole festival to try to get everyone, like a certain group to perform again, to try to relive that. But we got the real version,
we got to see My Chemical Romance in a 1,500 cap room,
Yeah, I never got to, but no? I got to remember. I got to play with them. It was the first festival, or no, second festival. I think it was like a smaller one, but the first one was a smaller one. But the first festival that like was big was Bamboozle. I don't know if it was only one on the West Coast, and then one on the East Coast. And we did the West Coast one, and I was freaking out. You know what I mean? And then they were headlining, and then 50 Cent was the other one or something. I was like, we got like the dual, not the dual stage, but like one, like the same thing, like the Fall Out Boy and then My Chemical Romance thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just remember being back there. I met the guy from AFI too, and I was like, what is going on back here? Because you have the pass or whatever, like because I've had to perform, not on that stage or whatever, like the mini one. But I just remember being like, what is going on here? Yeah.
It's like I'm backstage with all of these people that I also listen to. That must be such a cool feeling.
Yeah, it was really sweet, Gosh, who's the first person you ever got starstruck, like meeting? Other than meme.
I don't really get starstruck, I think, because I've been working in radio for 13 years. And so I've got to meet people, and I'm almost professionally trained not to, fanboy or fangirl over anybody. And at the end of the day, I think I also look at people we're just people, we're having a conversation.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
I think the coolest experience for me, though, was when I started making pop punk and emo music content online. Okay, because I started kind of freaking out a little bit when I saw Dashboard and Motion City Soundtrack sharing my stuff and my reels on their Insta stories, and I was like, what's happening? Because it happened for me so fast. People just really liked my content. I always made content for the radio stations I was working for, and it was really targeted towards those demographics. But then when I started taking my socials seriously for the stuff that I grew up listening to and the stuff that I really genuinely liked, that was more around me. Yeah. And it started blowing up. I almost didn't expect it to go over so well. I knew that I could make good content because I've been doing it for 13 years, but it was always for someone else. And so seeing it for me blow up so quickly, and then seeing Dashboard and Motion City Soundtrack post my reels, I was like, whoa. And then seeing I was at one point, I was getting 1,500 followers a day. And I was like, what is happening here? And then I got a DM by this one guy, and I looked at him wait a minute, his name looks familiar. And I look, and I'm like, this is Casey of the Wonder Years, who ended up being my first guest. And we've talked, I've got his number. We've done, video calls. And a little part of me kind of freaked out in the beginning because I'm like, whoa, I saw you 2 times in the last year and have tickets to see you again in a month. And I'm like, and you're messaging me about my content. It wasn't so much that I was starstruck per se, but it was just I was just blown away as to how many people that I grew up listening to.
It's a humbling feeling. Yeah.
Yeah. It's oh my God, this is crazy. The people that I are liking my stuff. And it was this is awesome. It was such a good feeling,
Yeah. Yes. Acknowledgement, and by the people that you love and, you support too, especially if you bought the tickets and everything, that's a good feeling.
So seeing that validation kind of come through, I mean, even talking to you right now, I'm this is so cool. In 2009, when I was at Warped Tour and I was watching you on stage, I wouldn't think that in 15 years I would be talking to you over a video call,
isn't that crazy how life is, 15 years ago it is. Yeah.
It's just we share our love for, and that's why I wanted to make this podcast, because I wanted to have conversations with people that feel the same and, grew up and just genuinely it formed so much and it was so important to who we are as humans, right?
No, for sure. No, I love it. I think it's an excellent platform though too, just to, even to get to know, we'll be lifetime friends anyway. So,
absolutely. We're going to get together in Vegas. We're going to shoot some videos. We're going to get drunk. We're going to have some fun. It's going to be a blast. I cannot wait for it already.
You're 4 followers and you're this bitch again.
We'll just batch a whole bunch of collab content. It's fine. They're besties. It's yeah, we are.
So, yeah. What's the new word now? It's that's so cunty. I'm oh gosh.
Is that a thing?
Yeah. And I was wait a minute.
I haven't heard that one yet, but I'll keep an eye out for it.
It'll filter up.
Now that you put it out there, all the algorithms are going to be listening.
If it's not and someone just fucked with me.
They messed with you to get you to say that on this podcast.
Yeah, that's so cunty. It's the, in Mean Girls, I feel it's the fetch. That's so
fetch. That's so fetch. It's stop trying to make fetch happen. Stop trying to make cunty happen.
It is though.
So funny. Promise. So getting back to the rebrand, what do you, I guess, want to do differently this time around? What do we have to look forward to this year? I know you mentioned an album. Is there anything else that we haven't talked about that you're doing that you want to talk about?
I think it's just, everyone's got different schedules and everything, but I do think I want to do more millionaire shows because I do a lot of the emo nights, you know what I mean? And just that kind of stuff. But I do want to kind of get I don't know, I want to open up, you know what I mean? Just for some bigger bands and stuff, just to kind of get back on the realm and just see where it goes. I'm not just being I'm going to be the number one or whatever. Just I just want to my whole life, the reason I stayed and pushed Millionaires for so long and everything is mine kind of thing is like because I never gave up. And it's just part of me. I like to perform. Even like in the beginning when I started doing the Emo Nights or like, or anything, you know, just like even like little guest appearances or little DJ things, I would do it for like nothing. I just like, you know, just want to be there. And now I get to kind of, you know, benefit by all means. But that feeling just like that, I'm just meant, I don't know, I'm just meant to be Millionaires and meant to be on the stage and meet and hang out with everyone. I don't know. That's just me.
I love that. Millionaires is so you authentically 100%, right?
And it just came from the heart. It wasn't like they made us or something. Like, you know, like there was like this vision that we had to do or I had to be or continue on with. It came legitly from like the heart, you know, fun, you know, love. And alcohol. So
always alcohol.
Add that one in. That was definitely, you know, part of it. But yeah. But also too, I just got I'm slowly but surely ordering my like merch for like the When We're Young thing. But I gotta send you some shorts. I don't know if you wear basketball shorts though too. Is it cold up there right now?
Right now
Getting
it's
cold?
not the warmest, but we get pretty hot. We get really cold winters and really hot summers.
I remember that I was really hot over in Canada, you know.
Especially Warped Tour. Like back then, we would leave Warped Tour, and for a while they did it in. It was like north of Toronto. Then they brought it into Toronto. When it was north of Toronto, it was like out in a field. Like you'd get home and just like be horking out sand because of all the sand that kicks up, and it was gross. Yeah,
I remember just like yeah, but yeah, they gave us hell. I remember on the Warped Tour time that I went up, you know, because you have to go in twice because we have to go all the way around. But the both times we tried to get in, not out, they didn't give a fuck for us to leave, you know, but getting in from the States. Oh my God, we had a bus and it was with, you know, we were with Broken Side in the bus. And of course they had like weed and stuff. And so, but we ditched everything prior. Okay. This is a long time ago too. So like really not allowed. But they ditched everything. But I remember being at the border and like they pull us over and like they're looking at us and we just look like a mishmash. Like, what the fuck is going on? You're like, why are these like all underage kids like in this bus together? It's like, what is going on? And then there's like our tour managers are a little bit not like old, but you know, just like my tour manager was passed out drunk, okay, in his bus, and he was the one with our passports. And we're like, we need the passports. Where's our fucking passports? Or whatever. And he couldn't even like stand up and stuff. I was like, so they brought the dogs in, and like
God.
They had like the dogs with all the stuff. We had to sit on the, you know, and like stand outside. This is the middle of the night, and I was like, this is the first time going to Canada, you know, mind you. And I was like. And then one of the guys, like, they didn't allow to go because they didn't tell us, like, the person that was working, they didn't tell us that they had warrant out or whatever. So they
oh my goodness.
And I was like, oh my God, like, you know, I was like stressed. I was like, is it important for us to go to this work or we could just continue on in the States? But then they let us go. But like, you know, I don't know.
It's funny to hear you say that because it's kind of been an ongoing joke that, you know, when you cross the border to go into America, it's like, you know, what are you doing here? What's your business here? And then with Canada, it's like, oh, what are you coming here for? Oh, to see Niagara Falls. All right, come on in, buddy. Enjoy the poutine. You know?
No, it was horrible for us, but just because I think it was my tour, I fired the tour manager because, well, he was a nutcase and you know, but yeah, but I was like, that's your one job is to like get us safely to the thing, and you're fucked up. It's like we're, you know, like we're all like just fucked up. You can still,
you know, we're crossing the border today.
But you know that it's not like we didn't know that we're randomly in Canada. It makes no sense, but I don't know. I nixed that guy.
I mean, rightfully so. I think you had every reason to.
Yeah. And oh yeah, no. People love to hear that coming from me. You know what I mean? Because I, you know, obviously, well, I was the tour manager after that. I was like, we're going to get a fuck over here. I mean, you know what I mean?
Just do what he did, but a little bit more responsibly. Yeah.
Even the BC boys, like till this day, you know, because we just do shows and stuff too, sometimes too. But they always listen to me because it's just like, because that's how I am. Like, you know, like you think I'm like, oh yeah, I'm so sweet. I'm like, nope, not today, not today. Really.
And you could do it, have a few drinks, and keep everyone in line.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm the one who settles and everything. I'm like, yeah, you get that money. Yeah.
That's great. Well, Melissa, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. You are a pleasure to talk to, and I really can't wait until the day that we can get together in person and hang out.
Yeah, obviously, hopefully October, you know. And let me know like your little merch size too. You got to see the new shorts that we just came in. My boyfriend not made me get them, but he's like, you need boy merch. Yeah, yeah. It has the little.
Oh, those are amazing. I love that.
Yeah.
And they're the Champion brand too.
Yeah, the Champion.
Nice new moshing shorts, Millionaires mosh shorts.
I was like, you know what? I'll cave in and get I'm gonna do a little boys line though too. We normally have just the a lot of stuff is like pink and stuff, but I was like, definitely for the when we were young, I was like, that would be perfect though, especially if you guys get hot out there too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll talk to you later about all the rest of the when we were young stuff.
Absolutely. Melissa, thank you again for coming on the show. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, man. Okay, I'll see you soon.
Thank you for listening to Our Space with Matt Batiste. If you enjoyed yourself, please support the show by subscribing and leaving a review. 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 Review.